Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of the German Empire in Kaiserreich. So, let's start. First off, I read this. There's a lot of text, so I'm just going to go over it slowly so you can read it, because if I went and read it out loud, it's going to take like a half an episode. I'm just going to go slowly like this, so if you want to read it, pause. Just going to go over this and pause like that. You see there's a lot of text, and I don't want it to take like 20 minutes of this episode just me reading the text, and that's it. If you want to read it, just go over it and pause, read it, and continue. Okay, so this is pretty much a blind playthrough. I really don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. Okay, let's select country. Can I? Guess not. It doesn't let me. Okay. This. Okay. Separate. That. Many division can go into the cavalry. Okay. Okay. And two of these can go here. And we're going to split this. Split. 2. 30. 4, 5. Put here. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go here. Okay, so we have infantry. Infantry officer. This is armored. We have cavalry, yes. They're special units. No. I'll take a hellfighter. I can use him. And this. Okay. These are infantry, and select them all. Them under A. Okay, like that. Okay, so research slot. Go with basic machine tools, extraction, electronic, and we can go let's see what they have. Okay. We had 21 civilian factories in use. Okay, so let's build. We wanna build civilian factories. So let's build. allow civilian factories, and then just do a bunch of this. Okay. Far away from communal France and Russia, near Austria. They can't. Okay, the focus tree is huge. Okay. I have 400,000 people. How does this? 18. Pretty good. Okay, let's train some of you. And do we have that production? EM tank, light tank. Yes. Let's put down one of those. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. What's this guy? This guy is fighter. So support. This is a... I can see what it is. Bomber. Okay, I don't really care about that. Polish holdings? No. No. 5%. Rampage dispense. Okay. Constantly monitor the political developments and react when necessary. Poland may be one of our most loyal subjects for now. German influence will change by -5%. -10%. So we lose economic influence. We have the most economic influence. I'll won't do anything. Okay. So can't really do anything, right? No, we have to go for this mess of the world. Weltpolitik, which grants Connecticut and next volunteer force division. Okay. Master of the world. This set up everything. Missing weapon, transport plane, naval bomber. Okay. We don't care about that. Put it on 5. Let's... Okay. Delegation council. Okay. Delegation, those are relegation cities for, right? For that. Okay, let's read this. Aftermath of the assassination. The shots firing the streets of Moscow yesterday marked the first unexpected event this year, and it has struck Germany directly. As in the aftermath, the German ambassador in Moscow, Friedrich Werner von der Schulenburg, received an invitation from the Russian Army and Ministry of Foreign Affairs to negotiate on the future of Russo-German relations. The upcoming expiry of the Vilnius Agreement and the fate of large German investments in Russia were the main topics of discussion. However, the contents of the Russian note were leaked to the press by a clerk in the embassy, and instantly embellished with second-hand rumors and fear-mongering about planned nationalization of German investments, or possibly even a road to war. The stocks of companies with large investments in Russia, especially heavy industry giants such as Group AG and Rheinmetall, began to tremble in the aftermath. And what has so far been a steady stock market spike has turned to a volatile market. Interventions by key stock market brokers and banks, such as the Association of Berlin Banks and Bankers, prevented a stock market crash, but the faith of the investors has taken a sharp dive. In the midst of this flurry of economic news, few were asking the question of what could await Eastern Europe in the future. For both decades, Russia has been seen as an unstable Eastern buffer whose great power ambitions have been permanently shattered, but perhaps it was not as permanent as people thought. How could Russia be a great threat to Germany again? Can-based stability minus 10%. Okay, we have 100 stability. That's pretty insane. Okay, we're going to... I'm just checking which countries are in our Reichspakt. This is Germany, East Asia, what's legation city? No faction, okay. Reichstag-Wahl 1936. One after another, moderate chancellor perpetuating the consensus of the March constitution have ruled the Kaiserreich since 1920. Zolf, Erzberger, Osadowski, Brockdorff, Rantzau, Marx, Bernstorff. That does not mean that there has been no opposition to the consensus. However, permanent opposition, two parties which, in spite of their popularity, have been left out, eyed with suspicion by the Kaiser and the political establishment, they await the end of this consensus with glee. The elections of 1936 may prove to be what they had wanted for so long, a path to power. On the left, the Social Democrats had been one of the main champions of the March reforms and took it as a victory, yet grew increasingly estranged with their allies on the center during the 1920s. The dream of a SPD chancellor never came about due to the Kaiser's reluctance, and the end of Brockdorff's grand coalitions of the SPD finally moved to the opposition. Plurality in the Reichstag is their priority, but so is dealing with the worrying growth of the right. If the conservatives take advantage of the fall of the March coalition, then the democratic rights which the German people finally gained in 1920 may fall under threat. The German Fatherland Party is a party of a new breed of the right, not the agrarian aristocracy of the DKP or the petty one-note politics of the pre-war anti-Semitic party, but a party of the radical middle class. The Yellow Workers and the nationalist masses, officially established in 1919, but born in 1917 as an all-national organization campaigning for wartime unity. Due to its connections with the Tirpitz Circle, the OHL dictatorship, and secret plots to overthrow the Kaiser during the war, it sided with suspicion by everyone, be it Wilhelm II or the other parties. But times have changed, and disappointment with the March coalition can easily benefit the DVLP. Not powerful enough to achieve a majority itself, it will need to build a grand coalition to the right, which will mean compromising some of their national revolutionary principles. But a step forward is better than no step at all, right? Sozialdemokratischen Wahlrechte, Wald SPD. You will play the 1930 selection as the SPD and receive appropriate events. That's the socialist. It is unlikely that you'll be able to gather a majority outright, but remember the election is just beginning. Yeah, Sozialdemokratische Partei. Okay. We'll play the 1936 election as a DVLP and receive appropriate events. It appears unlikely that we'll be able to gather a majority outright, but remember the election is the beginning. The DVLP. Deutsche Vaterland Partei. German Fatherland Party. Yeah, let's go with the German Fatherland Party. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, that was a really long. Sorry, that was really long. Read. Okay, so we control the Middle African Navy. No. No propaganda yet. What's this? Reichstag elections or 1936? Okay. System without being additional consistencies. Okay, turning the system. When it's taking place during this election period, we'll be able to strengthen or weaken the competing parties. 223 seats are required for a majority. The projected results are as follows. We have 65, the SPD has 125. So if we consolidate control of S, we're allowed to take a total of 3 of the unlocked campaign decisions. CVLP will earn 5 additional seats in the Reichstag election. DKP 3 and 2. Centrum will earn 2. Agrarian candidates will earn 1. Minor liberals. Allied candidates. Okay, let's go with so consolidated control of SC. Let's go with this DKP. What's the DKP? Conservative Party. German Conservative Party. I mean, they're pretty much less, right? That's like near one another, okay? And let's save 1. I don't know when will this end, like, I don't know. Centrum Agrarian candidates. Let's go with that. That's all we can do. Best of the world. Totalism. Okay. Do we have anything else we can do? No. So we have to continue with this. Pritzwitz plan. At the Pritzwitz plan, which gains consumer goods factor is minus 5%, election efficiency cap plus 5%, factory output plus 5%. In splits thus the opinion of Germany impaired, the Socialist Party of America loses political power. Against splits by us, opinion of United States. So we don't really get anything. The United States of America does, okay. Finance in the colonies. 40% consumer good factories. 180k. South Africa. Okay, that's kinda weekly stability plus 0.50% for 1080 days. That's like 3 years, 3.5 years. 3 years, yeah. Germany East Asia also gets, so that's 21 days. Should we do that? I don't know. Germany demands renewal of the Treaty of Metz. Renewal. All tension increase, they gain both war support, gain base war support, they lose war support. Okay. Buying time is buys. Ostwall. Okay, that's just building the wall, right? Probably just expand the colonial budgets, just like so we can do it before anything happens. So the Middle Africa and we don't lose anything early on, and we get to like rebuild after those 180 days. Ten years after the intervention. Okay, let's see this. For the past month, the Berlin Stock Exchange has been in a volatile plateau. And some voices such as Walter von Rathenau have already predicted an impending stock market crash. Though others are skeptical of such doomsaying, still the sense of unease permeates the markets and trading volumes are relatively subdued. Until now, when a 1-2 punch dealt a second severe blow to the stability in the stock market, after forced audits by the Reichswirtschaftsamt, Imperial Economic Office, numerous instances of fraud have been revealed among companies operating in German East Asia. The deplorable finances of their eastern branches were being hidden by fudging numbers, and the same fudging was used to avoid taxes. Just in time, when a retired official from German East Asia, Franz Bruninghaus, published a piece in the Berliner Tageblatt. titled 10 Years After the Intervention, referring to German intervention in China with an expeditionary force to topple the Kuomintang's northern expedition. It's an alarmist piece, describing the failure of German foreign policy in East Asia and stating that the instability in the League of Eight Provinces is the fuse which will set off an explosion of socialist and anti-concessionist revolts in China, threatening all German investments in China. For a market whose stability is already wobbling, this was not good news to wake up to. Investors began pulling out of affected companies in droves, causing a dip in overall stock price. A flurry in trading German government bonds occurred as exposed investors needing liquidity sold them to other, less exposed institutions seeking stable investments. If this continues, it could lead to the greatest stock market crash in German history. But what could it be done to stop it? Minus 5% stability. Not really that crazy. We can get an operative slot. Okay. Resistance efficiency, force into hiding time, filtration risk, linguist, demolition. Okay, military background. Master September, Master Soldier, I think. Edwig Becker. Okay. Impasse in the Reichstag. The Frankfurter Zeitung, Walter von Randenau has repeated his call for action, demanding the government to impose a week-long temporary bank holiday from Monday, February 3rd onwards, which would take the heat off an overheated market and allow tension in the air to cease. News of this proposal reached the president of the Reichsbank, Hjalmar Schacht, who forwarded the proposal to Chancellor Herbert von Dirksen. The two politicians thus spent the weekend trying to organize an emergency response to an impending economic collapse. A meeting of the leaders of Reichstag parties on Saturday was fruitless. However, though the parliamentary leaders all agreed that the situation is very tense, they disagreed on the specifics. And ultimately, the two largest opposition leaders, Hermann Miller of the SPD and Ulrich von Hassel of the DVLP, were anticipating an economic downfall, as the blame for it would fall not upon them, but upon LVP, Centrum and the Chancellor. In the end, stating that getting a few plutocrats bankrupt might just leave Germany better off. Miller accused the March coalition of creating the conditions for the crash in the first place and ended the meeting. Desperate and disheartened by the political impasse, Schacht chose to act independently. On Sunday, the Reichsbank published a note declaring that access to credit with the Reichsbank will henceforth be based on their primary coverage ratio and temporarily suspended the Reichsmark's convertibility to gold. His goal was to bring long-term stability to the market by minimizing damage done to the banks in a stock market crash. But on the last day before Monday, it has home terror in the market and neutered the whole of the Reichsbank as a lender of last resort. Let's hope Monday brings good news. Probably just Black Monday day. There we go. On the 3rd of February 1936, the Berlin Stock Exchange stopped sinking. It plunged. Fueled by the instability of the market, panic selling erupted as soon as the stock market opened Monday morning. It took well into the night for the teleprinters to stop sputtering out the results of what became known as Black Monday. When the results had been analyzed, it was clear that the situation has only gotten worse. The shock of this unprecedented economic catastrophe will, no doubt, be felt over the entire world. The German Golden Age has ended, for now at least. My God. Who cares about Afghanistan? We send volunteers. You know, India is what? Yeah, don't. It's probably going to like. Maybe if we send a volunteer. How many can we send? 4? I mean, should we? Why not? Let's do it. We can send 4, so. What's these? Hills, desert, mountain, hills, hills province. A lot of hills and deserts. Okay, let's send them just like regular. 1, 2, 3, 4. Theater. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add them. Volunteers. Let's first add a. We have like a hills or engineer. River fort. No. We need like someone with. I think I gave it to them, right? Hellfighter Hills. Okay, let's just send anyone. And like this guy. Okay. Send volunteers. Him, send. And this guy just goes here. Okay. I'm going to end this episode here. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.